we're going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. Keep moving along. The first item of business is the approval of the minutes from our last meeting on January 10th. Is there a motion to accept the minutes? Very good. Is there a second? All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Motion passes. Moving forward, we're going to go ahead and look at resolution number 29134.
Yes, Commissioners, you have a resolution before you relating to a 4F findings for work at Brush Creek and Troost. This is part of the Brush Creek channel improvements in conjunction with the replacement of the bridge on Troost Avenue at that location. The documents you have is one that we would send to the federal officials related to that, but we want to talk a little bit about the design for this, and with that I'll turn it over to Travis Kiefer.
Thank you, Commissioners. I have Chad Thompson with Capital Projects here this afternoon. He's got a board he'll sit up and introduce some of his team as far as where we're talking about and what we're talking about on this project. Chad.
Hi, I'm Chad Thompson with the Capital Projects Department. Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Afternoon. Today we're working on a portion of Brush Creek over by the Troost Bridge that is still currently under construction. With me today I have Rob Cruson with HNTB and Tim Flagler also with HNTB. Primary purpose of today's agenda item is for what is called the 4F, which is essentially a permission from whatever parks jurisdiction there is to do work within the lands that they have. What it amounts to is it says that we're not doing harm to those lands that you don't agree with and that we're making improvements to them. In this case, the improvement is a trail that is going along the bank of the Brush Creek, and it will also include a bridge over the water of Brush Creek and then tie back into a pedestrian bridge that we had done about 2.5 years ago. That pedestrian bridge was for a sewer line that also creates some access. As a side note, we're working with the Plaza East group, which is Mr. Gates' development group over there, to do some additional sidewalk tie-ins to the north to a road that we've built about 2 years ago as well. So with that, we have a couple of items that we've had to work out. We had a public meeting to look at some of the aesthetics that go along with the project, and we're incorporating those into design as we speak. We are working as well on a historical clearance that is a very small wall, and if Rob, you'll point out that corner right there. We already took down a portion of it with the main bridge. We did not at that time know that we were going to be able to do this trail. Since then we've got the funding, so now we're doing the trail. We're taking the remaining of the wall. They kind of call it informally as a document and destroy. So what we do is we take pictures of it, we make sure that we've recorded it as a historical structure, and then we do our improvements in that area. And then beyond that, we're looking for permission to be able to build the remainder of the trail with the park's blessing with the 4F permit, which Mark will sign. Process is, you guys, if you agree, you would vote to say, yep, we agree with this. You give Mark permission to sign that letter. The FTA, in this case, will send us that letter here in the next day or two and email it. We'll have Mark sign it and then send it, and it becomes part of our environmental and historical clearances that we need for the project so we can continue forward. Schedule-wise, we're looking to try to put this under construction over the summer, and then it'll probably last actually into the next summer. It essentially amounts to a large bridge through there, and it's about a $4 million plus or minus dollar project overall to put in this little phase. But it is one that Congressman Cleaver has been a high advocate of, to the point that he's put in $2 million of Tiger funds towards this project. So if you have any other questions, I'll answer them from there.
So the pathway, it goes down there and it sort of abuts the...
It actually goes underneath the bridge. If you take a look at it, it goes right underneath the new structure that we've just completed. And it has enough clearance so that you could still ride a bike and walk underneath it. And then it will kind of be between 10 and 13 feet above the normal water level as it goes across the lower area. And then we come back up, and the slope is kind of governed by the ADA requirements. There's a kind of 12-foot to 1-foot rise that you have to do for the ADA, and we've got that at that point as it comes right about where he's showing. That's your ADA to come up back to Troost, and then you do an ADA crossing to get back up to the pedestrian bridge. So we're meeting all those federal requirements there as well. But it actually goes underneath the main bridge.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? All right. Appreciate it. Thank you very
Okay.
much. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, motion is seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Motion passes. Resolution number 29135.
Yes, Commissioners, this is amendment number 2 with the architectural firm PJV. They've been working now on the Sea Lion pool renovation over the zoo for a couple years. Discovered some subsurface conditions regarding a collapsed sewer line. Need to do some engineering in order to repair these damages, and recommend approval of the contract. If you have any questions, Travis is here to answer those.
Very good. Are there any questions of Travis on regards to this issue? See none. Is there a motion to accept the resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, motion is seconded. Any further discussion? See none. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Very good. Resolution passes. On to resolution number 29136.
Yes, Commissioners, this is change order number 1 with Leith and Sons. They're working on trails in 2 different locations, one over on Cleaver Boulevard and the other one at Fairfield Park. Contract was awarded to them back in May of this year. This change order is indicated in the memo from Travis, a little over $19,000, and it delineates the scope. Again, if you have any questions, I'm sure Travis can answer those.
Any questions of Travis? See none. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Very good. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Resolution passes. Resolution number 29137.
Yes, Commissioners, this is a facility use and concession agreement with Southern Platte County Athletic Association, doing business as the Northland Sports Alliance. We have a long-standing relationship with this association, which handles youth sports in the Northland area. The memo spelled out the background and the compensation and the scope of work involved, primarily at Tiffany Springs Park. Mark Bolin is here if you have any questions, and I know Tammy's also with him, and she handles these matters for us.
Okay. I assume that the same, Mark can answer any questions on item 6 and 7 and probably 9 as well, correct? On the license fee concession agreements?
Yeah, there's 5, 6, and 7 kind of go together.
They go kind of together. Okay. Are there any questions of Mark on any of those, actually?
Yeah, I have a question. On, I guess, number 5, 6, and 7, I know we've worked with these organizations before. They're good organizations. There's several items in there that we request of them to do. Is this partnership? Have they been okay with all those things?
Throughout the year and at the end of each season, Tammy goes through that checklist, and before we initiate another contract or another agreement, all of those things are in place before we bring these other ones to the board.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
And so, in essence, we feel like they've done a satisfactory job. Has there been any issues, any challenges we've seen there that we've tried to sort of address and change that is of significance, or are they just minor?
Nothing of significance. Each year, they're pretty self-contained in terms of running their leagues and doing their programs. I think the only change and the only modification in this particular agreement is that the fee is going up $30 per field. And that is in part due to some of the costs that we incur, whether that's picking up trash or otherwise, that we're passing along and making these groups responsible for as well.
Okay, very good.
Basically, then, they're responsible for the scheduling of the teams and the number of teams, and we're basically not doing anything by the number of teams, just by the facility itself.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Any other questions? All right, seeing none. Thank you. Take a motion for approval of resolution number 29137.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Resolution passes. I believe there's probably any other questions on 29138 or 29139, correct?
No.
All right, let's go ahead and let's do quick motions for both of those. For 29138 is, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Resolution number 29139, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Very good. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good, resolution passes. On to resolution number 29140.
Yes, Commissioners, this is a shelter house fee adjustments for 2012. You have a memo, kind of explains it, and some backup documents. I'm going to ask Forrest Decker to give a little more detail on this.
Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Afternoon, Forrest.
Yeah, each year we kind of go through our shelter lists and look at rates. We look at other cities' rates. We look and see if they make sense for us, and we look at the amenities that we have in those shelters, the size of them, et cetera, and determine whether or not to increase or decrease any costs. I think the last change we made was in 2010, for the 2010 season. We didn't make any changes last year at all. This year, we're recommending several changes. One is the elimination of the half-day rental opportunities. We really don't get a lot of those anyway. And also, in implementing our WebTrack module, which will allow people to make reservations online, you can't really do a half-day with that anyway. So it's, so that's one of the changes we're wanting to make. The other one is the addition of Minor Park. We had that as a reservable shelter for several years. We took it out of the system last year, I guess it was, or the year before, for the Red Bridge improvements. It just wasn't able to be used as often, so we just took it out of the reservable list. We're adding that back in this year. Other than that, there's not a lot of changes to it. It's pretty much the elimination of the half-day and addition of Minor Park. So
Great.
So you said that you really don't get that many half-days?
we get a few at Penguin, but the other ones, I think we had, out of the 670 reservations, we had like 12 total, and that's counting Penguin, 12 or 14. It's not very many, so we've adjusted the rates at Penguin a little bit.
Okay.
So,
Tell me a little more about this WebTrack module.
but basically, WebTrack is a module of RecTrack, which is a program we currently use in the community centers.
Okay.
WebTrack allows you to make reservations online. Right now, the way people have to make reservations is they go down to our South District office and make a physical reservation there. This will allow you to do it online, and
Okay.
just an added convenience for citizens.
Yeah, that's
So
great.
They'll
So-
still have the option to go to South Region if they would like to and do it in person,
Okay.
or to call in, either one. But this will, hopefully will trend towards more of this in the future.
Right. Now, on payment options, credit cards are not accepted, right? So on this, is there like an electronic check or? Actually, that would probably.
I believe they do, they do take, we'll take credit cards online.
Oh, you
Yes,
can do that?
yes.
Okay. Fabulous.
Yeah, we don't take them in person down there.
Okay.
So,
And when's that going to be operational?
March 1st
Okay.
is the
Great.
plan.
Yes, sir. Are there any other further questions for us? Very good. Is there a motion to approve the 2012 shelter house fees?
So moved.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
All right. Good. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Resolution passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Resolution number 29141.
Yes, Commissioners, this is a facility use concession agreement for the annual St. Patrick's Day Parade over on Broadway Boulevard. I have a memo in your packet from Shannon Dooley. It would recommend approval, and Shannon is here if you have any questions.
Are there any questions at this time? Would you like to say a few things, Shannon? Please come on up to the mic, if you don't mind.
This is the fourth year going down Broadway. And so this will be the first Saturday down Broadway. So it'll probably be very busy. So they're celebrating 40 years in Kansas City. So
Very excited.
there's no representative here today, but
Okay.
So this is just for the organization itself that makes that, there's no charge for each individual entrant on top of that?
they do.
They do it?
They do charge entry fees for,
But whether or not it comes back to
Yeah.
us, I don't think.
yes. This is our contract with the parade organization.
Very good. Then, any other questions?
Are they doing anything special for the 40th? Is there Any-
Nope, their theme is celebrating 40 years of Irish heritage in Kansas City, so
We need a theme for St. Patrick's.
green.
Oh, green's the color, okay.
You said this is the fourth year. Have there been any issues?
Fourth year on Broadway. Well, the
Issues
first
with
couple, there's
businesses
always
and-
when it moves, you know.
Right.
They have to have the parking plan, and on their website, they tell people where to park. There's some paid lots, people, you know, some of the churches charge and
Sure.
so forth. So we didn't have any issues last year with the trash. That was a big thing the first year. Just, they have a huge cleanup crew for about 5 hours after the parade's over, going up and down Broadway.
Just
and a
on
little bit-
Broadway? And a little
A
bit
little
to the
bit
neighborhoods,
off,
right?
a little bit off, yeah.
Yeah.
So, to try to help with the neighborhoods. and
Yeah,
stuff
very
like
much so.
that.
Because they do
So-
bleed a lot into the sort of neighborhoods, especially the
They
parking
do,
does. And
yeah.
we see a lot of that.
But we talked to the businesses along there, and I think they have a good relationship with them. I mean, you know, I harken back a little bit, this was on Grand at one time, and I think I go back a few years, there were some issues that occurred on Grand, more in the downtown area. And Saturday is a little bit different kind of day, too, that you kind of remember that.
Right, I
Yeah,
mean, you know,
yeah.
more kids, obviously.
Mhm.
There won't be any skipping school or anything for the parade, depending on the weather too, but
True.
hopefully it'll be a nice day.
And so this starts on 31st Street? Is that right? Okay.
Mhm.
And it
They-
ends right before Mill Creek Park, you know,
Okay.
43rd.
So do they use the firefighters' fountain area and Penn Valley Park and that whole area for some staging?
Yeah, we're going to have maybe some issues with all the construction, so I'm talking with Jimmy Losine of the
Okay.
planning, so we get all on board of
Okay,
what's going to be available for them for staging and so forth.
good. Great, thank you.
Thank you. Very good. Is there a motion to approve the license?
So
So
moved.
moved.
All right, then, I'll say, you'll be
I'll be the second.
the second. Very good. All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Resolution passes. So resolution number 29142.
This is another one that Shannon is bringing for you today for the 2012 Brookside Art Fair. And how many years has that been going on?
This one's 27,
Okay.
27th annual. Marty Lee is here,
All right.
if you have any questions.
Well, Marty, would you mind just telling us a little bit about the event itself? And it'd be great to hear from you.
I have not been doing it for 27 years.
Well, you
Close.
couldn't.
And I want you to know before I get into Art Fair, that the Brookside St. Patrick's Parade is coming up before the downtown parade, and there is no entry fee, and we expect you guys to be there.
Yeah, we have a float, right?
And we have a logo, too. We have a theme, leaping leprechauns this year.
Leaping Light.
Yes. Okay, the art fair, which is May 4th, 5th, and 6th this year. It's always Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. In fact, this week, starting Thursday, we're doing the jury process. This is a very interesting process. We have over 1,300 applications for 180 spaces that are available at the art fair. It is an all-digital jury process now. We have 3 jurists that are, one is an actual artist, and 2 of them are curators, like from, I'm not sure who they're from this year, but we've used Commerce and Sprint and different curators. So you get a good mix, and it's a blind jury, so they don't know who the artist is, where they're from, any of that. We go through each of the categories. It takes us a day and a half to get through it all. So it's pretty exciting. Things that we have done over the past couple of years, new initiatives, we're always encouraging people to leave their dogs at home. Art fairs are not for dogs. We are kind of doing that, you know, in publicity, but we're not saying no dogs allowed because it's Brookside. We started a gift certificate program for those people that purchased more than $250 worth of art. They were given a gift certificate to come back and use in Brookside at another time, and a little bit larger gift certificate if they spent more than $500. That way, we are encouraging people to buy art and supporting the artists, and then we're also bringing them back in at a later time to come and shop in Brookside, and that has been very, very successful. We started doing parking at Border Star Elementary School. They've opened up their grounds so that we can use the artist, have the artists park and stage their vehicles over there, and that has helped a whole lot. Made it really, really good for us. This year, some of the things that we're planning on is we're going to go ahead and recontact everybody that got gift certificates last year that spent more than $500. Give them a little pin or something like an art patron to encourage them to come back and show off that they spent money and are going to spend some more. So we're just always trying to come up with things like that. The other thing that I brought along today is that we started using stationery for Brookside based on the art fairs. And I don't know if you've seen these yet or not, but I thought I would give you each the opportunity to have your own art fair designs from past art fairs. And so you can all take and share.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I think that's all I have, unless you have any questions about the art fair. It's a great event. If you ever want to volunteer, I'm always looking for volunteers.
How many people go through on the 3 days? I'm just curious if you had any idea of numbers.
Can't even get home.
You know, back in the day, I don't know if you remember, a couple of years ago for the Plaza Art Fair, they always say that they have like 80,000 people that come through the weekend or whatever. Somebody called them on that and said, there's no way you can have that many people, so I'm not even going to guess.
More than two.
Yeah.
We'll just start there.
Yeah,
Very
yeah,
good.
lot of people.
plenty,
Very good.
yeah. Thank you.
Wish you the best of luck on another successful event.
Right, and thank you guys for all that you do for Brookside and the other areas.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Marty.
Great. Could I have a motion to approve the license fee? Okay, there's been a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, motion seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Let's see, I think we're on to resolution number 29143.
Yes, Commissioners, facility use and concession agreement for the Northeast Arts Chalk Walk. Shannon?
Yes. Oh, in its fifth year,
Fifth year.
up at the concourse in the
Okay,
northeast
I was going to say,
area.
it's at the concourse. Okay, great.
We're great, they're great partners with us with the Flower Lawn and Garden Show once again this year. So once you guys volunteer for that as well, you will meet the coordinators of that. Any questions?
Are there any
It's a
questions
two-day
at this time?
event.
2 days? Okay,
Is that Rebecca?
very good. Okay, great. Could I get a motion to approve the license fee?
So moved.
Very good. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, motion seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Thank you.
Director's report.
Yes, major construction. Travis?
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Some photographs here. First project we'll talk about is the Observation Park and some of the repairs going on out the park.
That's my hood. Thanks. It's looking good up there, I'll tell you. Walked up there just the other day.
And these photographs are of the repairs to the wall. You'll notice that this is where a lot of the brush removal had occurred up at the top of the wall, and then a lot of the stonework, doing the tuck pointing on the wall, repairing the wall, bringing it back to what it's supposed to look like. They've really done a good job as far as blending that back in and blending the old with the new. Gunter Construction is the contractor on that job. It's about 90% complete. We expect that to be completed, the wall work fully completed by March 1st. That was a $152,000 project, and Frank Gibbs is the project manager on that project. So, the second project is the Longview Aquatics. This project's on schedule. It's about 55% complete. Scott Overbay is project manager on this project. It was notice to proceed was June 27th. It's a $7.3 million project, and with an expected completion date of May 26th, 2012. You can see some of the aspects going on this project: the concession building, small pool, one of the lazy river. These are also the key features of the project, and I believe there's also one of the last photo there is of the swirl bowl, or where the swirl bowl will be located.
What's a swirl bowl?
That's a bowl that, it's a small pool in and of itself that has jets that create an eddy in the bowl, so it swirls the kids around in the bowl. So they can get into that off the edge of the lazy river.
It's a big toilet.
There's no outlet, there's no outlet. Last project is the trail along Shoal Creek Parkway. This is the one that's extends from 152 south to 76th Street or Soccer Drive. Contractor on this job is Hunt Midwest. This was a $543,000 project that was TIF funded. You can see that this project is just about complete. They expect to have this cleaned up, wrapped up by the end of the month. This is the first phase. The next phase will take this project from Soccer Drive down to 435. So
That looks nice.
That's great.
that's a standard 10-foot wide concrete trail there that you're looking at in those photos. So, any questions on this?
How long is that trail? I mean, just in...
This one,
Half a mile.
it's a half?
Yeah.
Because the next, yeah,
It's like probably 5/8 of a mile, a little over half mile.
some, yeah, okay. About 3,000 feet, something.
That's correct, 3,000 feet.
Are there any other questions of Travis? Any other major construction projects? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks, Travis.
Commissioners, if we could go back a little before Heidi makes a report. I see Rebecca's here
Oh, okay.
from the, representing the Northeast
Northeast.
Arts. The agreement's been approved, Rebecca, but it looks like you have some information to share.
I just wanted to share our 2011 calendar, which it's all in color. It'll show you some of the artwork that we had at the concrete basin there. So we have concrete canvases there at the park. So I wanted to share those with you, and thank you for approving our event for this year. We're looking forward to it.
You want to just give us a few highlights of some things you're planning on doing for this year at the event itself?
Well, the main focus, of course, is the art, the chalk art, and it's art of all ages, young and old. Some are professionals. We try to get a few professional artists to do the major squares. But really, it's just open to all to take over a square and create. We do go through somewhat of an approval process. Basically, it's a small application, a little sketch. We have some guidelines, what to draw and what not to draw. And we supply them all the art, all the chalk, to do their artwork with. So there's actually no cost whatsoever to our artists or any of the people who want to come and view the artwork at the Concourse Park. So it's a family-friendly, free event using the concrete as canvas. And so that's the main thing. And we get anywhere from 40 to 70 artists. It really kind of depends. On that Sunday, more people kind of show up, and kids want to use, chalk, so they'll fill in between the squares that we have marked off. But we also have the Kite Club there. So they're represented. They usually have a couple people doing the trick kites on that large green carpet we have out there. So that's always really pretty nice. We've got a number of not-for-profit and neighborhood associations that are represented there. I know our bicycle group is going to be there because of the brand-new public art piece that's there, Constrained Chaos, that stainless steel sculpture that's out there. They're going to be there trying to raise more awareness of bicycling, biking and walking, and making that a destination point in Northeast. And that group is raising funds to try to create some more bicycle racks, public art pieces in the Northeast area, and hopefully it catches on and it happens around the Kansas City area, greater Kansas City area. So it's really the two main things that we've got going on. We do have some live entertainment. We usually have several bands. We'll probably just have one live band each day. We'll have music throughout the day. We get sponsors that feed and water our artists. So, they like that, no starving artists here.
Or thirsty ones, for that matter.
Or thirsty ones, yes, that's true.
Excellent. Well, thank you very
Yeah,
much.
I will just leave these here.
Yes, please
These are
do.
last
Thank you.
year's calendars. Browse through them. At the very end, it has a few shots, group shots of, the actual artists on the grounds drawing.
All right, great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and best of luck this year. when you're
Thanks,
back.
Rebecca. Okay. Heidi Downer, marketing report.
Hello again. I have just a few more updates. As you know, we do the weekly report segment on the city's weekly report show on Channel 2 and also available on the internet. These past couple weeks, we've done a segment on the fitness centers, activities updates for things happening in February. We're also doing a story on the Lakeside Nature Center, and then we're going to head over and do a story on the zoo this week as well. So that's our next couple weeks of shows. As you know, the Parks User Survey has gone out. It is up on our Facebook page and up on our website. It was also emailed out to our database. I encourage anyone who hasn't taken it to visit our website at kcmo.org/parks and go ahead and take the survey. I'm also going to be resending out the email to our database as a reminder. That will be up until February the 15th. And as you know, so far we've had 296 replies. Typically get about 400, so we still have a little ways to go, but we also have some more time. The other kind of polling or surveying that we're doing right now has to do with the Longview Tract Aquatic Center that will be opening Memorial Day weekend. And we have been polling on 3 names that we chose for our residents to vote on. One is the Bay, the second one's the Lagoon, and the third is the H2O zone. We've had 488 votes to date, and the H2O zone is winning. It has been come out strong from the start. It's at 38% of the vote, followed by the Bay at 34% of the vote, and the Lagoon at 28%. I'd like to thank the Jackson County Advocate newspaper for their assistance in promoting this polling contest. They've done some advertising and some stories for us.
Amy advertised on her Facebook page, too.
That's right.
Very good.
Let me ask you, is this the name of the actual center?
The Aquatic
itself?
Center.
Okay, so it doesn't say Longview Aquatic Center or Kansas City Park. I mean, like, that's the name. I mean, I guess.
Like we have the Springs
Okay,
Aquatic
Right,
Center
right.
up at Tiffany
right.
Hills Park.
Okay.
Yes, this would be like the H2O zone at Longview Tract, or,
Okay,
and then, yes, of course, we'll be branded with it as Kansas City Parks
Okay.
facility,
okay.
but does that answer your question?
It does, thank you.
Okay. All right, so if you haven't voted on that, there's something else for you to do. And then kind of an exciting thing I'm working on is, with the IT department, is we're starting to generate an online searchable database of parks and our amenities, so that, and people can go on and say, hey, I'm in 64114 area, what parks are in my part of town? Or they can say, I want to search parks that have swimming pools, and then the list of parks will come up. So that's in the works, and we're hoping to debut that before the end of March, which is when our spring and summer activities guide hits, so that we can really promote it and get people online to learn where our 219 parks are.
I think that's great.
Yeah, it's been kind of a long time coming. Yeah.
Something like that, and I think that's
And,
excellent.
right, so we're very excited to have that up and operating, hopefully within the next month or so.
That's great.
Good. Let me just kind of comment on 2 things. One, of course, Heidi was talking about the name for the new aquatic facility, and then, of course, Travis showed you some pictures of the new aquatic facility. Tammy, who's going to be responsible for the management operation of that, is working on a fee schedule for that right now, and I think we'll have that probably the next board meeting. Is that right, Tammy? And clearly, once we get the fees established, then we can start working on the promotional material. You can do a flyer or brochure that you can start the promotion. Then you brand it, basically, is
Right.
what you end up doing. So you can have some graphic looks and some information to start sharing. Start building up momentum and interest in it before we open it Memorial Weekend.
Absolutely.
So anyway, 2 weeks, Tammy will be here with that information.
Looking forward to it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I had a couple other things. We attended the annual awards dinner for our sister city, Xi'an, China. That was hosted by Bob Chin, if you know Bob. Sister city of Xi'an is one of our sister cities of Kansas City. And of course, this is the Year of the Dragon, and you may have heard a bit about that recently. And this is the acknowledgement they gave KC Parks and Recreation for our partnership opportunities, working on the Dragon Boat races on Brush Creek, and then the bridge there on Brush Creek also had some acknowledgement of the Year of the Dragon with Xi'an, China. Wanted to also mention that we lost Bee Davis a couple weeks ago. She passed away. Bee Davis was the widow of Mayor Ike Davis. She lived to the age of 89. She had been in ill health for a little while, but she did pass, and that's significant, having been the wife of a former mayor. But she was a big contributor to our department. She helped out the Liberty Memorial. She helped out on the Paseo Boulevard at 63rd Street and also up at 12th Street. And so she was a real advocate for our organization, and she will be missed. Another situation I became aware of earlier today that Forrest has been helping out on is Penny, 51-year-old female elephant, which would be a cow, over at the Kansas City Zoo, was put down this morning. Had some health problems, and I know Forrest is working with the zoo staff to assist in her burial. Is that my understanding?
Yes.
And so anyway, just be aware of that. Randy will probably send out a press release to that effect. 51 is a pretty good age for an African elephant. I think Casey lived to about 52 or 53. But anyway, she succumbed to some issues and was put down this morning. That's it.
All right. Thank you, Mark, for your report. Is there any other, on the public hearing, I think we had the folks who were here, part of HNTV, so I don't think we have anybody else.
Yeah, I'm good.
I think at that point, that's pretty much.
You wanted to mention something about Bob?
Yeah, if I could.
Yes, please.
Just for your note, former Commissioner Bob Llewellyn was recognized by University of Missouri Kansas City last Friday night. He was inducted into their Hall of Fame in the contributor category. And a lot of people don't know this, but he helped really start their athletic program, and particularly in the area of the basketball team. Oftentimes you'd see him down in the very front row. His feet are on the court, literally on the court. But he did a lot to promote that program and UMKC in general. And for your all's benefit, the department received a lot of kudos that night in terms of our involvement with UMKC down at the what's now the Sporting Kansas City soccer complex. So it's a very good night.
Great. Thank you for the updates. Is there any other business? See none? Okay. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.